Yo, what is up, everyone? I just want to apologize for not posting in 2 weeks. I just been focused on work. Like I said, I'm just like the point of this channel right now is just documenting my journey or the work I'm doing and just do what's natural to me, right? It's not for who's gonna watch this video or to blow up. It's for me. I'm basically documenting and journaling, my journey right now. And on my Instagram, I'm doing like daily posts, like what I've done in the day, right? Because I just want to focus on that. I just want to focus on this, right? I'm not gonna be focusing on views or all that. That comes once I actually, build my brand or I don't. Okay, I'm not even gonna cut this anymore. Bro, I'm so geeked right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just I'm just gonna be me, right? Because the reason why I've been posting is because I think I have to put so much effort, but I keep forgetting like I'm documenting and I'm journaling my adventures. So it may not be the best quality, right? I'm gonna be improving. I'll be learning more. I'll be learning how to actually make videos that maybe this is entertaining. Maybe you just like my buns. Who knows? But yeah, this is me, and today we're just gonna talk about oscillations, and it's one of the things that I learned, and I think it is really going to be the thing that is going to bring me success. And even though I'm not successful right now, I'm still working every day. Even if I'm not seeing results, that's not the point. It's about putting in the work, doing the things you don't want to do, right? Having that discipline. And discipline isn't waking up at 6 a.m. every morning. It's about doing the things that you don't want to do every single day, no matter what, right? And success is just basically how long can you be uncomfortable and deal with, that pain or just like no one likes to be uncomfortable, right? Um, I'm not saying I don't like it. I love working, right? And I love the idea that I will, be successful one day and all this will pay off. But some days it sucks, and that's just how it is. And you just have to deal with that, and how long you can deal with that and keep going, keeping that consistency is really what's gonna put you at the top. Because a lot of people just want to be lazy, they want to be comfortable, and it's really easy to get distracted, right? There's lots of great people with great potential, but they get distracted or they just don't have the drive or nothing, right? They're just motivated on motivation. But you get what you mean, or you get what I mean. But today, I'm just gonna talk about something real quick, which is basically everyone lives their lives like this, up and down, up and down. Like, what does that even mean, Yoel? Well, you have days that you just go amazing, you complete your goals, you're doing good, and then you could just crash back down, right? And this right here is like your baseline, right? Just like what you do every day, whatever it is. Right here is just the worst of the worst, like just things that just crumble up your day. And up here is just the best things that happen in the day. You complete your goals, you eat well, whatever it is, right? It's like your goals, the high frequency things. These are the low frequency things. But most people just live their life going up and down, right? Just not finding their actual barrier where they can just position themselves to just slowly keep on growing. And I'll explain to that how you can do that. But yeah, you live your life up and down, and sometimes, right, just goes on a heavy decline, life gets so ass, and you hit rock bottom. And most people, right, there's lots of people, they probably make bad choices, but, they just decide to stay here because they just don't see they can go up, right? They think life is unfair or whatever it is. But to the people who do, right, they break through, they break, and then boom, right? Life starts getting good again. But did they learn from that situation? Like, did they learn why they hit rock bottom? Did you inform yourself to become better that day? Whatever it is, right? You hit that high, and then boom, you go back down again, right? And that's just how everyone lives their lives, just up and down, high and low. There's not that real consistency of growth and being able to reach, that success that you always wanted or the goals that you always wanted. You might hit some goals, but then boom, it just life goes down again, right? Let's say you go to the gym for 3 weeks, and it's amazing, and then for some reason, whatever it is, you just go back down, right? And you don't lose your way and stuff like that. And you're probably telling me, I don't know what you're telling me. Okay, but hopefully you understand that, right? And I'll explain it more. But first, we're gonna get into my story. Right, this is me. Yes, I was skinny, and I'm gonna get. Well, I don't want to be skinny, but you know what I mean, right? And, I'm a little bit chubby right now, but this was me. At 10 years old. I have to stop saying but I lived my life like a normal boy, right? I had my family, doing things as normal boys do. I don't know, play games, go outside, just a normal kid. Right, as life goes on, there's not really much up and down because, as a kid, you just see lots of positivity. Life is amazing. There's not no real problems, not any real obstacles. Maybe, getting picked on at school a little bit or whatever it is, but it's not really that driving force to just hit rock bottom because, as a kid, you just see the positivity in things. And, it's an amazing thing about being a kid because you don't have responsibilities and you just get to do what you want and stuff like that. But yeah, that was me. Excuse me. Sorry, I know it's 1 a.m., but I want to finally post a video. But sadly, right, things aren't all sunshine and rainbows. And for me, my family wasn't, that Disney movie family where it's all sunshine and rainbows. There was actually problems going in the back, and you can go on my story and stuff like that. No, I'm not here to trauma dump, but it just sucked, right? That was my obstacle, and it led me to go on a decline, which made me gain weight. I try to find distractions, right, to block out all that negative energy, even though it wasn't really blocked out, it was more like suppressed. And, the sacrifice was myself, right? I lost my lack of confidence. I started playing video games, right? Just wasting time being distracted. Other things, they just took over my brain, just to get those feelings of like, dopamine means happiness. And there's ways in this world now that you can just hijack it. And that's how I hijacked it. And I just stayed there, right? All this became my new standard. But yeah, that's just how it was for a bit. And then just because I was playing video games so much, I was actually getting good, right? Because I was playing every day. And I started realizing that. And, life started going up. Kind of corny for a video game that a video game is making my life better. But it was, right? Life really sucked at this point. And, I qualified one of Fortnite's best tournaments where you can actually make real money. And guess what? I did. I got my taste of victory. I actually made my first money in a video game. And especially with my situation with my family, all this and all that financial dependency and, all this toxicity, I actually found a way where I could actually make money and, I can probably help my family. And it was just that all-time high. It was amazing. Right? But of course, on my eye, I made a terrible decision. I was so addicted to that feeling of just winning and being successful. I secretly started cheating. I know it sounds super dumb. Like I was good at the game, but I just found a way to cheat. And, I invested in it. I took that risk and it went good for a while. But what comes up must come down. And I got banned. And, I'm kind of happy I got banned because it made me realize how much time I wasted. Like all this time, like all this situation right here, it was probably like a few years, like probably 3-4 years, stuff like that. And just made me realize all that time, right? Just from one decision, it all went down. All that playing a video game, because I was trying to escape from the reality of life. All that time I wasted playing a video game. And it finally led me to not being able to play that video game again. And I was really good at it. And that was the only thing I was good at. Of course, I probably had some other stuff but you know what I mean. That's what I basically focused on my life on a stupid video game, and I wasted all of it. And here's where I watched the video. I'll play it for you guys in a second. I watched like a TikTok video, and it just made me realize how much time went by and about locking in.
If nobody else is going to tell you the shit, I want you to hear from me. And I want you to just sit down and digest everything I'm about to tell you. Between now and December 31st, there are 25 weeks. 25 weeks exactly. And I can still remember New Year's. Fireworks going off, all kind of shit being done, people getting drunk in the streets, all kind of crazy shit. It is now July 7th. more than 50% of the year is gone. And you still did not do that thing that you said you were going to do. This was the year. This was your year. You said you were going to do it and you didn't do it. I understand. I get it. It's hard. I've been the same way several fucking times. However, you now realize if you didn't do what you said you were going to do, you now realize how serious this time shit is. And most people can be like, oh, time doesn't exist. Time doesn't. Hey, listen, regardless of if you believe in time or not, it doesn't fucking matter. Because whether you believe in it or not, it's going to keep going by. It's going to keep being 9:36. It's going to keep being 5 o'clock. Every day, 5 o'clock is going to come by twice. Every day, 3 o'clock is going to come by twice. And if you ain't doing what you said you were going to do, you're only going to get older and your regret pile is only going to build. If you lock the fuck in, listen to me. If you lock the fuck in between now and December 31st, your life will change. And when people hear this shit, a lot of times they'd be like, oh, well, you know, there's no way I'll make $1 million in 6 months. There's no way I'll lose, 200 pounds in 6 months. There's no way I'll do. The fact that you're thinking about the main end goal between that time frame, that's the fucking problem. Don't think about the end goal. You already got the end goal in your mind. If you don't have the end goal, figure out exactly what the end goal is, get comfortable with it, and then fucking forget about it. Because what you're going to attain between now and December 31st is the mindset, is the discipline, is the skill set, is the fucking fight to go for what you know, something that you may not have right now, or you may have it in very small supply. Just like me yesterday at that fucking gym. I was sitting outside the gym like, damn, I really don't feel like doing this shit. You know what the fuck I did? I left the gym, I went for a fucking walk, and I went to the other fucking gym. You wanna know why? Because I needed something to keep me going. A change of scenery, something. I said, if I'm not gonna work out here, I'm gonna work out at the other fucking gym. And that's exactly what the fuck I did. This is why it's really good to keep options on the table for yourself. All in all, you need to understand something. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to fix your problems. Nobody is going to start that business for you, that YouTube page for you. Nobody's going to post that content for you. Nobody is going to do that walk for you, lift that weight for you, eat that right food for you. Nobody is going to do it, and nobody's going to force you to do it either. If anything, people just going to sit there and watch you fucking flop and fail like a fish out of water. And in some fucked up capacity, it might be somebody you know, because you told these people that you want to do this thing and they just waiting for you to fucking fail because they have zero belief in you. That's fine. They can go fuck themselves. What they feel about you is irrelevant. The only important thing is what you feel about yourself. Lock the fuck in. And I don't want to hear this shit about I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to start. That's bullshit. That's a cop-out. Because when I was a kid, a fucking child, and I got tired of being bullied for being a fat motherfucker and not having cool shit, I couldn't do anything about the cool shit, but I could do something about the fat shit. So you know what I started doing? I started walking, right? I started doing push-ups. I knew even then, when I had immature, limited knowledge of what to do to change my situation in some capacity, I knew what to do. We're all adults now. You know exactly what the fuck to do. You just do not want to do it. And I'm here to tell you, just like that video I posted yesterday, that monster is never going anywhere. There are going to be days, more days than you may not like, that you are not going to feel like doing this shit. You're not going to feel like doing it. You're not going to feel like getting up early. You're not going to feel like going to bed early. You're not going to feel like eating clean. You're not going to feel like rushing through work so you can start working on yourself. You're not going to feel like doing all the right things. But I'm here to tell you, I am a walking example of not wanting to do it, not actually doing it, and having a shit fucking life as a result. So if that's the case, everything in life is a fucking spectrum. If that's the case, then the opposite must be true. If I don't feel like doing it, and then I do it any fucking way, my life has to get better. There's no way you can go after something and not achieve a percentage of it at the very fucking bare minimum. All in all, 4 words to change your fucking life between now and the end of the year. Lock the fuck in.
Right? There's more to life. Life isn't just all this. There's more to life, but you got to put in the work. And that's exactly what I did. I got motivated. I got motivation from this, and I started going to the gym more. Life started going up. I started learning about business, found different things, trying to ways to make money. So this basically became my new norm, and it did. I was working out. I was trying to find ways to make money, and just focusing on finding something else in life because this is gone. Right, the one thing I was basically doing my whole life is gone, and that's basically what I did. But then, after weeks went by, I finally realized, like, dude, I'm not losing weight. I know I kind of blocked this photo, my bad, but I was big. I wasn't that big, but I just had to find some photos. I don't know why there is this thing. This is supposed to be after like the big reveal. Wow, I was always, leveraging motivation. But before we get that, I went down. I realized, wow, nothing's changing. And this is supposed to be a big reveal, but it's right here in front of your eyes. This whole time, I was just using the energy from being motivated, watching those videos, being motivated, and I never really understood true consistency. True consistency. And I finally started building these values in my head, learning my mistakes. Each time I made a mistake, I learned why I did it. And all thanks to that, I started building this compounding value in my mind that the key to success is just being consistent, doing the work that you don't want to do, but you have to do. And the point is how much can you deal with that is going to equal to being successful, if that kind of makes sense. But yeah, things were going good. I found this new thing, and I made my first money. I graduated school. I really thought I found the thing to the financial freedom. But what must come up must come down, and boom, I went to jail. And I know it looks bad, like the pie doesn't even look like me, but yeah, I went to jail, and it really opened my eyes, and it also made me realize about the up and downs in life and how to take control. Because, by the way, this whole time right here, yeah, I was learning, but I was being consistent with work, but there was other things in my life that weren't being consistent. Like I was going to the gym sometimes. Basically, imagine up here, instead of going down, I was just going up and down up here, right? Up and down, up and down. And then right here, I just crashed back down, if that kind of makes sense. But that happened. I went to jail. You can go my story. It's kind of crazy, but it just made me realize that I was, running away from life about, my parents were fighting and all that stuff. And, I didn't have the freedom that I wanted and all these different things, but it just gets way worse. People in here, their lives are gone, right? I was eating prison food before I was complaining food and being picky about food, or just because I was like chubby, you know what I mean? But it just made me realize that things can just get a lot worse. So be grateful where you are and just put in the work. And then this is where I finally realized, the cycles that most people do. And as you saw, I try to be consistent, but there were still those things that I wasn't consistent with, that just ultimately lets you fall back down. And me realizing this just made me because I'm not successful yet, but I'm putting myself in a position where I can't go lower than this anymore, right? Because my new bottom line is my new standard, right? My routine, everything I'm doing. For example, let's say my standard here or my goal here was I want to do 100 push-ups every day. Make that my routine. I want to work 8 hours a day. Make that my routine. This is my new bottom line. There is no falling below this. And if I fall below this, it's because I'm missing something, right? I'm not being consistent with something. I'm not doing the things I'm supposed to do. Because to be successful is how much work are you willing to do that you don't want to do, and how much time are you willing to go through that? And now putting yourself in that position where this is your bottom line, new highs come, new leaps. Now you're positioning yourself in a place where you can grow. And this is my new bottom line, right? I'm going to be working every day, and I can't go below this. unless, of course, life is going to happen. But ultimately, this is your bottom line. Hopefully that makes sense and you can implement that in your lives, making your bottom line basically what all the goals that you want to do right now, the work you know you're supposed to do, make that a routine where you do it every single day. This is your new standard. And that's where you position yourself. These new highs will be doing 1,000 push-ups a day or whatever it is, working 16 hours. But it's not just about the routine. It's about putting yourself in that position where now you have new highs, if you know what I mean. You just put yourself in a position where you can grow, and as you make your more money, you just can put yourself in better positions. Like, let's say, okay, I don't want to get too deep, but hopefully that makes sense for Oscillations. I'm gonna make a way better video, but remember, this channel is just me documenting and journaling my path to success, my path to financial freedom, because that's all I want. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully I gave some value. And if you're watching this when I'm already successful, that's the point. You got to put these things in your mind now and implement them in your life, even when you're not successful. I've been working for 5 months without seeing results, but I'm still putting myself in that position, right? I'm working every single day, and I'm getting better every single day. And that little growth, day by day, even though there's no results, is what's going to ultimately put me in that path to success, or put me in that path where luck, or putting yourself in the position where luck could be a thing. Maybe I blow up with one random video about documenting. Who knows? You never know. But just put yourself in that position to grow. And whatever you're promising yourself you're going to do, just make that daily routine, so you can grow every single day. And yeah. Thank you for watching. And have a fantastic, bolastic, shumpastic day.